All right. We're back. I got sound again. Okay. So we're going to be on page 73. Page 73. Adding and subtracting decimals. Adding and subtracting decimals. Okay. Now, when we're adding and subtracting decimals, the most important thing is that we're adding like normal, okay? We add just like normal, we subtract just like normal. The key thing to remember, though, is the decimal point, okay? You've got to keep your decimal points all lined up so everything lines up properly, okay? Now, the other thing you can do here is, you see how 2.073, they have 3 decimal spaces right there? But on 5.2, there's only 1 decimal space. What we want to do is we want to add zeros so that we have the same number of decimal spaces for each number. What that's going to do is that's going to help us line everything up properly. Because if I don't have my zeros here, and I don't have my decimal points lined up, I'm going to come up with a completely wrong number. I'm going to get confused on what I add to what, and it's just going to get wrong, okay? So what I'm going to do here is when I copy my problem down, I'm going to make sure my decimals are lined up, and then I'm going to look at how many decimals I have. Here I have 3, so I'm going to add zeros in. So now every number I have has 3 decimal spaces. Okay? Because I'm adding zeros, it doesn't affect anything else. It's just giving me a placeholder. Yes?
Right there, like the 5 and the 1, just so it does not add zeros right there.
Right here? Right here.
Yeah. Did you not add zeros right there?
You don't necessarily have to add zeros. You can. But this is basically adding whole numbers, okay? Do you add zeros with whole numbers? No, so you don't necessarily need to do that. You can. Or you can put X's right there. Just as long as you don't make sure they don't look like other numbers, okay? So now once we add our zeros in, we make sure everything has the same decimal amount of decimal spaces. Now we can add everything up. So I'm going to look at this. I'm going to say 0 plus 0 plus 3 plus 0 is 3. Okay? Then I'm going to look at 0 plus 5 plus 7 plus 6. 18. Carry my 1. Then I have 1 plus 2 plus 7 plus 0 plus 4, 14. Then I carry on to the other side. Then I have 1 plus 5 plus 6 plus 2 plus 8, 22. 2 plus 0 plus 1 plus 0 plus 5. And then I bring my decimal point straight down. Right? So if I have 5.2 plus 16.75 plus 2.073 plus 58.46, I'm going to get 82.483. Okay? It's just adding like normal. I make sure my decimals are lined up properly. That means they're in a straight line. And then I'm going to make sure that I keep the same amount of decimals, okay? Especially for if you have trouble lining stuff up, make sure you add in your zeros. That way you can make sure, hey, I have 3 decimal places here, but only 2 right here. I need to add a 0, so I make sure everything is lined up right. Okay? The same thing goes with subtraction. Let's look at another problem here with subtraction. We're going to do 7.3, and we're going to subtract 6.725. 725. Okay, my decimals are lined up. I'm going to add in my zeros. Okay, and now I'm going to subtract like normal. So I'm going to borrow from the 3, that makes 10. Borrow from the 10, that makes 9. Make that into a 10. 10 minus 5 is? 9 minus 2 is?
7.
Have to borrow over here, that makes 12. 12 minus 7 is?
5.
6 minus 6 is?
0.
0. So I bring my decimal point down, right here, and my answer I get 0.575, or 0.575. All right? So let's look at letter A right here. Letter A, section 1, letter A. 7.23 plus 8.49 plus 13.58. Okay? We don't have any places where we can add zeros in. All right? Everything's already lined up for us, so just go ahead and add that up. And when you get your answer, raise your hand. Emmeline. 29.30. Or you can put 29.3. Okay? Let's look at letter B now. Letter B. Your decimals are already lined up for you. In all the problems that they give you, 99% of the time, the decimal is going to be lined up already. So it's just your job to make sure you add your zeros in so you can keep everything lined up. All right? So letter B, we have 6.5 plus 15.87 plus 3.96. Do we have any space where we're going to add a 0 in? Tony? Where? Yeah, next to 6.5, right? So you're going to put 6.50. Okay? That's the only place where we're going to put a 0. Then we're going to add everything up. So go ahead and add everything up. Yes? What do you got? 26.33. 26.33. Okay? Now let's look at section 2, letter A. Section 2, letter A, we're subtracting. So everything's already lined up for you. There's no zeros to add. You just subtract like normal. And what are we going to get?
3.842.
Good job, 3.842. But if we jump over to letter C, we have 525.6 minus 115.684. Do we have any zeros to add? Liviana?
Oh, wait, no.
Yes, we do. We need to add 2 zeros to 525.6. So after 6, we're going to put 2 zeros so we have the same number of decimal spaces. What this also does is it gives us a number to borrow, right? So once we add those 2 zeros, we're going to subtract. Shane, what are we going to get? 409.916. All right? Okay, what I want you guys to do right now is I want you guys to do 1D and 2D. Get those done. Then I'm going to be nice. I'm going to give you guys your homework for tonight. Okay? So you're going to have like 20 minutes to do your homework. So that way, you guys can hopefully get your homework done in class, not have homework tonight. Tomorrow's a party day, and then you go into Thanksgiving. All right? So if you guys are doing your work now, then you guys shouldn't have any homework in math tonight. Yes? No, just do it on your paper. Do 1D and 2D. They'll give you your homework. And then we'll be done. Okay, for those of you watching online, your homework for tonight is going to be lesson 40 on page 363. Lesson 40 on page 363. If you're in class, you got these problems done, come see me. I'll double check them, and then you can get working on your homework as well.